Do you know why people are afraid of the unknown? Because they can't control it, can't see what's coming, and when they can't predict something, they feel powerless. People like to believe they've cracked the code of life. They convince themselves they can read everyone, fit them into tidy, labeled boxes: weak, strong, loser, winner. All those neat little labels they stick on people, just to bring order to their boring, empty lives. But the moment they can't figure someone out, the moment they can't decode what's hiding behind those blank, weary eyes, everything loosens. Oh, that's when the fear kicks in. That's when their hands start shaking. That's when they realize they aren't in control. They want you to be predictable, to react the way they expect. They want to push a button and get a reaction. Anger, sadness, fear. But what happens when they push and nothing happens? When you don't start, when you don't beg, when you don't let them see what's inside. That, my friend, is power. You want to be feared? Stop being readable. Stop letting them see what makes you weak. You force them to think. You become a black hole, pulling them in, something beyond their ability to define, something they can't understand, because people don't fear monsters. No. They're afraid of uncertainty. Ever notice how the world is terrified of silence? How people bury themselves in noise, distractions, and the constant chaos of daily life? Because silence forces them to face themselves. It means stripping away the layers and facing what's beneath. And believe me, most people don't want to see that. They're terrified of their own reflection. But you have to embrace it. You have to sit in the silence until it no longer scares you. Because when the world is loud and you remain quiet, they start asking questions. They begin to doubt themselves. That's when you become a threat. Most people think life is a simple equation. Do this, get that. Be kind, people will like you. Work hard, you'll succeed. Love someone, they'll stay. Cute, isn't it? A little fairy tale world where everything is fair, where effort equals reward. But let me tell you something. The world doesn't play by those rules. You could pour your heart out for people, and they'll toss you aside the moment you're no longer useful. You could break your back, working only to watch someone with half your skill, but double the connections. Take everything you earned. You could love someone with every inch of your existence, and they'll walk away like you were never even there. The problem isn't that the world is unfair. The problem is that you expect it to be fair. That's your mistake. That's why you're hurt. That's why you're angry. You keep thinking there's a logic to this game, but there isn't. The only rule is there are no rules. And you know what that means? It means you stop waiting for fairness. Stop expecting things to make sense. Stop looking for justice in a place where power is the only language people understand. You don't beg for respect. You command it. You don't ask for a place at the table. You flip the whole table and set it on fire if you have to. Because the moment you stop following their rules, they're forced to follow yours. Ever notice how people only value what they're afraid to lose? You offer them kindness. They see weakness. You show them mercy. They see opportunity. You let them in. They take everything. But the moment you become untouchable, the moment they don't know what you're thinking, what you're feeling, that's when they start watching their step. That's when they hesitate before saying your name. That's when they start treating you like something not to be messed with. But here's the thing. They won't fear you just because you say you're strong. No, not at all. People only believe what they see. So what do they see when they look at you? A man in control, or a man just waiting for permission, for approval, for someone to finally notice. If you want their fear, stop waiting. Stop hoping they'll recognize your worth. Stop believing there's some day when they'll understand. That day will never come. No one's going to wake up and suddenly give you the respect you deserve. You either take it or you die waiting for it. You want an example? Look at history. Look at every man who changed the world. You think they were loved? No, they were feared. Not because they were violent, not because they were cruel, but because they weren't readable. They didn't move like the rest. They didn't need validation. They walked alone, and the world had no choice but to follow. So the next time you feel like you're breaking, like the weight is too much, like the world is trying to crush you under its heel, you laugh. You laugh because you know something they don't. You know that every ounce of pain they throw at you, it's making you stronger. And one day, when they look at you and realize they can't break you, can't control you, can't read you, that's the day they start fearing you. And when they fear you, you win. You know why people follow the rules? Because they're afraid of what happens when they don't. Not because they believe in them. Not because they think it's the right thing to do. No. They follow because they're scared of what's outside the lines. But here's the trick. Those lines, they don't exist. They're made up. A little illusion someone created a long time ago to keep the weak in check, to keep the sheep walking in a straight line while the wolves roam free. And you're sitting there, frustrated, angry, looking around at a world that never plays fair, never gives you a break. You ever notice how the strongest men are always the quiet ones? The ones who don't speak unless they have something worth saying. That's not a coincidence. That's not luck. That's power. Because people fear what they don't understand. And when you stop making it easy for them, when you stop letting them in, stop showing them your every move, they panic. Because now they don't know how to handle you. And when people don't know how to handle something, they either worship it or they fear it. And between the two, which one do you think keeps you safe? Because let me tell you something. Kindness won't save you. Love won't save you. Being a good person won't save you. Not in this world. The only thing that saves you is being someone they can't touch. Not physically, not emotionally, not mentally. You have to become something beyond their reach. Something they look at and say, I don't know what he's thinking. I don't know what he's feeling. And that scares the hell out of them. I can see it in your eyes. You want to believe what I'm saying, but something inside you is still holding on. holding on to that last thread of hope that maybe, just maybe, the world isn't as cruel as I say it is. That maybe if you just try a little harder, be a little better, things will change. That's cute. It really is. But let me break something to you. Hope is the most dangerous illusion ever created. They sell it to you like a drug, get you addicted to it, tell you to just keep going, just keep believing, and everything will fall into place. But hope is a trick, a scam, a leash they put around your neck to keep you tame. Because as long as you hope, you stay waiting. Waiting for justice. Waiting for things to make sense. Waiting for people to realize what they did to you. You're still reacting. Still hurting. Still proving. Still seeking clarity in something that is destined to remain unclear. But when you let that go, when you kill the need for fairness, for closure, for anything outside of yourself, that's when you become dangerous. Because when they can't read you, when they don't know what's inside your head, when they look at you and see a man who no longer needs them, that's when the power shifts. That's when you stop being the victim and start being something they fear. But to get there, you have to let everything go. You ever wonder why the most feared men are always the ones who don't say much? Why people talk about them in whispers? Why even their enemies step carefully? It's not because they're the strongest. Not because they're the smartest. It's because they don't show their hand. They don't let the world see what's inside. Because the moment they do, the moment they start explaining themselves, defending themselves, trying to make people understand, they lose. Because understanding breeds comfort, and comfort that kills fear. But when people don't understand you, when they can't tell what you're thinking, can't predict your next move, that's when they fear you. That's when they respect you. That's when they start treating you. Hey, if this video made you think differently, don't keep it to yourself. Hit that like button, drop a comment below, and let me know if you're ready. To stay strong, to stay unstoppable, and to build a mind no one can control, hit that subscribe button. Because let me tell you, this isn't where it ends. Every time you come back here, we'll make your mindset stronger, sharper, and harder to break.